So here's a scenario. You know, you're with your mates. You're watching a really sick card. You know, you're showing your mates who aren't really like that into UFC. You're trying to get them into the UFC or MMA or whatever. But I guess in this case we will say UFC. You know, they're watching the main card. You've got them to the main card. The main card's looking sick. The momentum is going great. You know, big KO, crazy fight of the night, and then you got this random fucking feature fight between two fat sloppy heavyweights that, you know, I like heavyweight fights, but I don't like fucking fat heavyweight fights that are just going to be clinch fest for 3 rounds with someone fucking gassing out and nothing happening. Why on why the fuck is I was about to say Maurice Green, fucking hell, that's a name I haven't heard for years. Just joking. He's in the PFL, still around. But no, I'm talking, of course, about Dontel Mays versus Rodrigo Nascimento for Haya. I don't know why this fight is on the feature fight of this weekend's card. The UFC just has some weird like fetish with putting like shit fights that shouldn't be this high up on cards. I also make this video because Dana White did like a video talking about the UFC Austin card, and in the background you could see what the bout order was. And he has Pahali Soriano versus fucking Dustin Stolfus, who is 1-4 in the UFC, I believe, 1-3, and something like that. He's only got one win at the very least, and he's got a lot of losses. He is going to be on the main card over Khalil Roundtree versus Azamat Murzakanov, or actually they might still be on the main card, but he's ahead of them. I generally don't fucking understand this at all. Let me just double check this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so maybe it's a 6-fight main card. That's possible. So at the very least, I don't know why Roundtree and Murzakanov is below Soriano Stolfus. Even Clay Guida versus Joaquim Silva is like should be higher up than Soriano versus Stolfus. Like there's some good fights on the card. I don't understand why they're giving all this fucking special treatment to like these middleweights. Maybe the fight does turn on to be a good fight, you know. It could do. It could actually be a really banger fight, maybe a knockout for Soriano. But it still shouldn't be that high up on the card. I don't know why the UFC does this. Like sometimes, yeah, it'll work out and the fight will turn out to be really good. But you know, most times out of 10, these fights will ruin the momentum of the card. You know, I'm not specifically like Soriano versus Stolfus. I don't think it's going to be an amazing fight. It could be if Soriano gets a KO. If Stolfus gets a victory, it's probably going to just be like a dull wrestle fuck performance. You know, I could be wrong. Who knows? It could actually turn out to be fight of the year. You never know. You know, hindsight's 2020, but still, the thing is, with these like random heavyweight fights or these random like women's MMA fights, they always put them really high up on the card. Like it'll be like feature fight most of the time, or at the very least, it'll be on the main card over like some crazy banger fight. And then it'll, like everyone predicts, it will still stink up the fucking card. Remember, now I'm going back to last year. It was the Leon Edwards versus Kamaru Usman number 2 card. You know, it wasn't the greatest main card, but there was a fight on that card, UFC 278. Sorry, that was the card it was. Fucking hell, that's it was like ages ago. So UFC 278 on the main card, Lucy Padilova versus Yanan Wu was on the main card. I had no clue why that fight was on the main card. You know, it wasn't a great fight from memory. She got a TKO, but I can't even fucking remember why. I don't know. It still shouldn't have been on the main card. Like people paid hard-earned fucking money, and that fight was on the fucking main card. Like due to elbows on the ground. I remember it being dull. Maybe I'm remembering this wrong because I don't even remember it getting a finish. I thought it was a boring decision, so maybe that just speaks to my fucking Alzheimer's type memory. But at the very least, that fight shouldn't have been on the pay per view of a main card, like the main card of a pay per view. Sorry, there we go. There's my Brendan Shaw moment to add to it. But fucking like generally, what sense does that make? Like at all? Like people pay hard-earned cash sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes for main cards of pay-per-views. And, I don't think people want to be treated to some random fucking unranked women's fight that has no fucking, there's like nothing towards that fight. They're not fighting for anything. They're not fighting for a ranking. They're not fighting for a title fight. I don't personally, outside of like women's strawweight fights and like certain fighters, I really don't care about women fights. That's just me personally. I just there's just some divisions I care more about than others. But you know, if you're gonna put like a women's fight on the main card, at least have it be like a good fucking fight, not just some random fight. Same with the heavyweight fights. Why is there always a random fucking fight? Let's just make up a fucking fight. Parker Porter versus Jake Collier. Why is that on the main card? I know that I don't think that fight even happened. It's like, there's always these random fucking, what's that other fucking fat guy's names? Maybe Jake Collier versus fucking, oh my god, Jared Vandeera. Why is it always these random, out of shape heavyweights that are always on main cards? Like, if you're gonna put like a heavyweight on a main card that's unranked, you gotta fucking put Chris Barnett versus like, I don't know, someone who will give him an interesting fight. I don't know. It's always the same old shit, though. I swear to God, man, it's always something boring. Like it's always whenever they put like random unranked heavyweights on the main card of pay-per-views or fight nights or something, it always just fucking kills the momentum. Like I want to fucking get more people into the sport. When I'm showing my friends who aren't really into MMA, I don't really want to show them two fucking obese guys hugging against the fence back and forth for fucking 3 rounds. Like I don't if they're grappling, I don't care. Literally, fucking half the time they get these random fat unranked heavyweights on these cards. It's literally just them clinching against the fence, punching to the body, punching each other in the face while clinched up, pitter patter shots, gassed out, breathing heavy, maybe swinging some fucking diabetic attack type fucking strikes while they're against the fence, gassed as fuck. It's like, I don't, it's not something I really want to show my friends and be like, yeah, this is the sport I'm fucking obsessed with, it's not a good look. Like, especially like fucking, you got, it's just some of these heavyweights, man. They need a sense. They need to give some of the fucking heavyweight sport bras. I swear to God, because they need a censor bar or something. Because yeah, I don't want to shit on all the heavyweights. There is some real heavyweights I like, but like it just gets fucking crazy putting these random unranked heavyweight fights. I'm not shitting on every heavyweight. I like heavyweight. Like I'm one of the people who actually likes heavyweight for what it is. But when you got these fucking like I bet you Parker Porter's gonna get booked against like fucking Muhammad Usman or some shit for his next fight, and that's gonna be the fucking co-main event of a fight night. Watch this, mark my words. Muhammad Usman versus fucking Parker Porter is gonna co-main event a fucking fight night or something in the future. I just know. I always sense these things. Like there's just always real random. Like even some of these like fights don't even make sense. What was the fight? I know it was Maximov, Nick Maximov versus Soriano. It was a horrible fight, awful fight on the Hermanson Strickland card. And he was higher up on the card over Shavkat Rachmanov versus Carlston Harris. Like, how the fuck does that make? Why was Nick Maximov so high up on a card? Like, I don't understand that. Like, fucking at all. That was a really weird fight, by the way. That was a horrible fight, man. Like, Arguably, Soriano could have won that on damage, but you know they gave it to Maximov. Really, just a fucking awful, awful fight. Uh, even though it's Sam Alvey, I would have rathered fucking Brendan Allen versus Sam Alvey as the co-main event. You know, technically Allen versus Alvey was light heavyweight, but you know Allen higher ranked, obviously wasn't a ranked fighter at the time, but still has more bearing on the division than fucking Nick Maximov versus Honey Soriano at the time. But I don't know. Like, just fucking, I don't know. It gets so annoying, man. Like I say, why put some momentum killer on the card? I get people need piss breaks and shit like that, but once there's always a great card where it's like the momentum is just going crazy, and then here come the fat heavyweights or the boring fucking woman flyweights. It's just like, surely it's not good for business to just completely kill the momentum of a card. Like, I don't know, man. I'm just getting fucking sick of it. I can't let this shit stand anymore. I'm done fucking being quiet. I'm a vocal minority now. Maybe I'm actually a part of the silent majority, but I'm not being silent no more. We need these fat fuckers off the screen. I don't want to be seeing Parker Porter after watching. I don't really. It's not ideal to watch like. Okay, I'm just gonna make up a hypothetical fight. I don't want to watch Cub Swanson versus Charles Jourdain, then watch. Ah, that's a good example. Like Jack Della Maddalena versus Jeff Neal, and then crazy banger back and forth fight, and then let's just do another example of a crazy crazy fight. What's something I can get off the top of my head? Vicente Luque then fights, uh, fucking Mike Malott. It's just a random one. I don't then want to have to sit there and go, oh yay, it's time for Parker Porter versus Chase Sherman 2 is like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I just don't care. Like, why ruin the momentum of a card like that? I never understand it. Like, what is it? Is there something in the UFC ESPN contract that says you must have a bad fight after all the fucking banger fights? Like, I don't know. The UFC generally just need to fix their fucking scheduling or something. Like, I just don't understand. Are they that fucking out of touch with the MMA fan base that they think that people care about watching like fat heavyweights or random women fights on the main card over like high ranked lower weight class fights? Like, no, we want to see the best fights. We don't want to see fucking I like sloppy back and forth like slugfest. Don't get me wrong, but I don't want to see two fat guys fucking clinching up against each other for 3 rounds after they came out swinging. They threw fucking 8 significant strikes between them in the first round. Ooh, what a banger. Oh, what? Now they're gassed out and now they're not going to get a finish? Oh, yay, we get to watch them hug each other for 2 rounds. Oh, he got a takedown. Oh, he's humping his face. Awesome. Awesome, Dontel Mays. What a move. What a maneuver. Great maneuver there from Dontel Mays. He's humping his face. Like, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm alone on this. I'm just getting sick of this shit. YouTube's trying to silence me. My views keep getting taken away. So nobody's probably going to see this video. But if they do, let's start a fucking movement. We have to fucking stop this shit. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of these stinky, stinky fights. Stinking up main cards. Nobody gives a shit about these fights. I'm going to say the truth. People can say, well, why don't you get in there and fight them or some shit? I'm not fucking saying I'll go in there and flog Parker Porter. I'm just saying I don't want to fucking see his tits bouncing around after watching a fucking back and forth flyweight fight or a back and forth lightweight fight. I don't want to see some crazy 3-round war and then have to watch fucking Parker Porter's tits slip around while he's clinching someone up against the fucking fence. It's fucking annoying. It generally pisses me off. I'm sick of it. Just put them on the prelims where they fucking belong. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody cares about these guys. Put them on the prelims. Like, what do you gain from having these fat, sloppy... if I wanted to go see tits like Parker Porter's, I'd go watch porn. I don't really want to be jacking off, during the fucking main card. Not that I would jack off to Parker Porter's tits, but, if I wanted to go see tits, I'd watch porn. I don't want to see fucking Parker Porter's fucking sloppy tits, you know? Like, I don't know. Just fuck off. I don't want to see this shit on main cards anymore. Please, UFC, listen. Somebody get this message to the UFC. If we wanted to see tits, we would watch porn. Get it through your fucking fat fucking heads. Nobody wants to see Parker Porter on main cards of fucking fight nights or pay-per-views. Nobody wants to see Josh Parisian on main cards of pay-per-views, or unless they're gonna do like two fights in one night, or we'll do Sergey Pavlovich versus Josh Parisian earlier in the night, then he'll fight Parker Porter, and then he fights Tom Aspinall. If that's the case, then yes, you can have him on the main card. Let Sergey Pavlovich warm up a little bit beforehand. Let him knock out some fat heavyweights, and then go fight the real test or something like that. But if you're not going to do that, don't you dare put any of these fat fucks on the main card or the prelims. Thank you. You're killing business. You're killing pay-per-views. Trust me, nobody is generally paying to watch Josh Parisian on like the main card of a pay-per-view. Nobody's paying extra for their tickets to say, oh yeah, let's watch Josh Parisian on the fucking main card of a fight night. Nobody cares. Stop doing it. You're killing your product. But anyway, thank you for watching. If you made it this far, please give the video a like. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the UFC ruining all these main cards with adding these random fat fuck fights, these random women fights, and just these stupid like unranked fights that have no reason to be this high up on cards. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.